Show me what I used to know. Show me what's in here that'll help us leave.
Is there something in that lake we need to be afraid of? I think I've seen them before. There's something old here, and it's feeding off our suffering, and it doesn't stop.
The answers you sought come wrapped in painful truths.
How does this help? How do I stop it from happening this time?
Hello everyone and welcome to Geek Anime channel. I'm your detective host Igor, and today we're gonna discuss the teaser for episode 5 of From. Honestly, I've been talking to some people on the set, cast, and I was seeing some interviews also, and it looks like almost unanimously everybody keeps talking about episode 5. You should tune in for episode 5, stay awake for episode 5. Episode 5 is gonna blow your mind. Okay, we believe you. It's only a week, even less than a week to wait for this episode, and hopefully it will actually deliver on the promise. And as usual, I want to start with the synopsis. It's called, by the way, the episode is titled "What a Long Strange Trip It's Been." Now honestly, the first time I was seeing this title, it couldn't even come to my head that it's gonna be in relation to the mushroom trip that Jade started in a previous episode, and it looks like most of the episode we're gonna spend with him and with the people in the village, discovering something very interesting in a previous episode. So let's read the synopsis. Boyd and Jade set off on a desperate, mind-bending search for answers, while the food run to the settlement takes a chilling turn. Okay, so we already know, we have seen the trailer, we have seen all of the teasers. It's probably gonna be connected to, to the scarecrow dolls or the rock dolls. There are different people look at it in a different angle. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's very interesting, obviously, how it comes to life and it actually attacks our characters. And of course, whatever is gonna happen with Jade, because he already have a connection to this place. He already has visions, and now he's taking an extra boost, something that, Miranda and Henry did. And then Miranda started to see the Ankui children, the man in yellow, the bottle tree, etc, etc, etc. So hopefully Jade will get some very interesting information for us, from Crazies, something that will help us to understand this place a little better. So as usual, let's go scene by scene. And if the previous teaser for episode 4 already gave me a lot to think about, and I was right about some things, I was wrong about the other things, this one is kind of putting things, under the carpet. It's not really that much revealing, and honestly, I'm happy about it. Okay, give us some more during the episode, not the teasers. The teasers are here just to give us something to talk about while we wait. That's it. Now, as usual in those videos, I have a tradition. I always complain to MGM Plus or Paramount or whoever is responsible. I also, of course, thank Jeremy Eisenfire for publishing those videos for us, but MGM Plus for some reason releases this teaser online only in Instagram just a couple of days before the episode, and what we're seeing right now is something that was recorded from a TV screen. Why they're not releasing this on YouTube or in any, I don't know, horizontal form, in any platform possible, I don't know, X, whatever you want to call it, I don't really give a shit. Give us a normal teaser. Why we have to do this thing and look at this quality and try to do something with this quality? Please, it's 2026 and you are a company that's supposed to be able to deliver those kind of things. You have this digital file. Move on, please, and let us enjoy those teasers in normal quality. Anyway, we can see the Jade here standing with Boyd in a forest. There are some black spots here. I know I'm not a big forest guy, so I don't really know whether it's natural or not, but Jade is talking to something and he's saying,
"Show me what I used to know."
Show me what I used to know. So once again, if you remember, in the end of season 3, he was already screaming at the sky and telling, like, to God or whatever to just give him an answer. I'm gonna be sitting here, and unless somebody is actually talking to me and giving me some useful information, I'm not moving from here. And then Jim actually came up with the whole musical note solution.
Show me what's in here that'll help us leave.
Show me what's in here that will help us leave. Now Jade is looking at something here, and Boyd is behind him also looking at something. So is it possible that Boyd is also seeing the little boy? Because probably most likely Jade is looking here at himself when he was a teenager. But then in the next shot we can see that first of all Jade is already covered with some kind of a spots on his t-shirt, like he was, I don't know, drooling probably after mushrooms, or maybe something that was just some kind of a liquid on his t-shirt here, I don't know. But Boyd is not looking at the boy, Boyd is looking at Jade here. So maybe, logically, if it's actually a mushroom trip, the only one who's supposed to see the boy is actually Jade. But since this place is actually real and exists, and it actually just transforms and moves through this veil between worlds, whatever you want to call it, and using mushrooms, Jade can see it just better, unlock his memories. So maybe it's even possible that Boyd is actually able to see this boy. Anyway, we're gonna have to wait for the episode, but once again, if Boyd will be able to see this boy, it's a one story. If only Jade, it's completely different story.
The answers you sought come wrapped in painful truths.
The answers you sought are The answer you sought are wrapped in painful truth. How painful? And we already pretty much know everything we need to know about the sacrifice, right? They were killed by somebody who loved them and they trusted, blah, blah, blah. And suddenly it kind of feels that maybe somebody who is responsible for them being killed is also the original Jade and original Tabitha. Is it possible or not? I mean, what else can be painful truth? Those children were killed. We all know that. Jade knows it. He has seen it in season 2. It's not a big news for him. So whatever painful truth is, it's probably somehow related to, Jade or original Jade not being such a good person in this situation. Maybe I'm reaching, but this is what my intuition tells me in this situation.
How does this help? How do I stop it from happening this time?
How does this help? How do I stop it from happening this time? Is the sacrifice about to happen again? Or is he talking about the massacre? The massacre that was happening during the Victor cycle, and now apparently something that's supposed to happen again, with Sophia being in the town and preparing for something new. The favorite part of the story that repeats itself more and more and more. And we can see that Jade is going to the caves. Now, this is not something new. We already kind of pretty much deducted it from the previous teasers that he's going to be shoved in this place with skulls and bones. This is probably where the Ankui children bodies are actually being buried. And this is the real sacrifice place, right? Because in Jade's vision there was no this kind of a stone, the big stone that covers here the grave. There are the 7 sacrificial stones, but the one that he has seen in episode 10, I think, season 2, there was no grave, there were no those kind of a big stone plate that covers it. So now Jade knows where the sacrifice actually took place. And when we look here, we are seeing the cheerleader monster, we are seeing the mechanic, we are seeing the milkman as usual, the nurse, the librarian guy, and this one kind of looks a little bit new with a bag here on its back. It doesn't look like a backpack. I don't know exactly, I don't recognize this monster, this Fromby, so if you know, let me know in the comments, please. So whatever is gonna happen with Jade here, he's not gonna die. Okay, let's be honest, this is not gonna be death, but the boy is gonna send him here to realize where the sacrifice took place, because the answers to the end are at the beginning, and it all started with the children. Now, the children probably were initially bred and brought into this world just to be part of the sacrifice, because we can see on them they're pretty much vitamin D deficient. Okay, they have no hair, they're white, they're pale, and as we remember from the beginning of season 2, they were probably kept in the caves, like in those kind of weird cells that are being created inside of the caves. So maybe those children were originally being planned for just to be sacrificed for whatever entity, deity that has been running this place. So whatever this is with the sacrifice here, but knowing what exactly happened in the beginning, somehow supposed to help our characters. Now, for the life of me, I have no idea how. Maybe once again, the only thing that comes to my mind as a supernatural fan is they need to burn the bones. You burn the bones and then, the ghosts are free, basically. But once again, this is a different TV show. I don't think the same logic applies here. If it is, it's gonna be pretty easy for our characters and it's gonna be kinda anticlimactic, right? It's the end of the season, the end of the TV show. They just burn the bones and everybody leaves home. Yeah, pretty much not the epic that we are all looking for. So I don't know exactly what it is here, but once again I would love to read your comments. Now, returning to the synopsis, they found the rag dolls, the big rag dolls. One of them is actually missing an eye, if you remember from the trailer. And it looks like a very important detail because we have Elgin missing an eye, we have Clara almost losing an eye, we have a lot of drawings with characters without an eye, so it is an important detail in this place. Anyway, we have scars that repeat themselves with the forehead on Kui Children Gym, also one of of those voodoo dolls next to this village. There is this theme of repeating injuries in this place, and now we have a rag doll which is probably connected to the village, and this village is probably connected to the first cycle of the story, so it has this eye, it's missing eye, so maybe this is what originated this whole losing an eye in this place. So they're bringing back those rag dolls, and Donna is asking Tabitha, is there something that we need to be afraid in this lake? Like Tabitha knows. How is she supposed to know? No idea. But since Donna is asking her, this is probably already after the vision that Tabitha is having here, and we can see that she's remembering herself being a little girl. And this is another thing that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, there is a theory that every vision that Jade has is a vision of his past lives, right? He's seen Christopher, and we know that he's a reincarnation of Christopher. So the Civil War soldier, the guy that was crushed by the boulder, and the guy with a spike in his eye from season 3, they are supposedly all Jade's reincarnations. Tabitha, we know that she's a reincarnation of Miranda. So why the little girl, right? I mean, she was talking a lot about dreaming that she was a little girl. And she was going there and she was afraid, the red stones, and she's screaming at something. But then again, like in the dream, usually you are looking at something or you're watching a movie with some other characters. And now, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, since she supposedly needs to be a mother, a first mother, the one that gave birth to one of the Ankui children, and then they were supposedly be sacrificed, and Jade and Tabitha used to sing them lullabies. And I see here a little girl, she's like 10, 9, 8, 7, something like this, right? I don't know, I cannot really identify a period by its clothing, and those artificial intelligence cannot be really trusted. They're telling me this is 1860, like the Civil War, but I also know that I'm, really into Civil War period with this TV show, so many times those ChatGPTs, etc., they will just tell you what you want to hear. But I didn't find the same exact clothes from this period, so once again, if you have this information, let me know in my Discord channel. And this little girl is looking at one of the dolls, not the dolls, those weird voodoo statues that supposedly are protecting this village. And now they're showing us like those two screenshots together, like the girl looking at it and Tabitha looking at it, to imply that this is the same person, this is the same like reincarnation. So it doesn't make sense to me. Then where is Jade in this situation? Jade supposedly, what was he, older, way older than this little girl? I know we're talking about probably, the old period, but still, some boundaries. You don't get to be a 30-year-old guy with 9-year-old or 10-year-old girl. It doesn't work like that, even in this period of time. Now we also have something that's gonna happen with Marielle. Finally, she's gonna get some screen time. She's gonna be pushed by some kind of a force. This is inside of the hospital, because hospital used to be a school, and then suddenly we're gonna be seeing her being chained to this wall again, like exactly like she was chained in end of season 2 in Martin's chamber. So also very interesting. Hopefully it will give us some information. Maybe once again they were laughing and some kind of like disrespecting God in previous episodes, so maybe Sophia with her powers will try to punish them and show them that their ways are wrong, and if you like make fun of religion you will be punished or something like this. I don't know what's that exactly, but there is something here standing next to her. Okay, this is a shoulder silhouette here. Somebody is looking at her, but she is looking directly straight, like no, she's not looking at somebody who's standing here right next to her. So is it a dream? Is it something that's not really happening but it's in her head, or it's actually real and somebody here is standing but it's invisible to her? Or once again there's something way more scarier standing right in front of her. Now that's pretty much it. Now, I know it's not like a big review with a lot of details, but you know what? I'm pretty good with it. I'm super excited to see Jade when he was a teenager. I've been talking about this many times. I love his story that he was saying to Tien Chen in the end of season 1, and I really wanted to play somehow, like it can be somehow connected to story walking or time travel, whatever this is. But I like they're bringing this back, like this is his background story and his story of losing his parents and his grandma when he was a teenager is somehow related to the lore of this place, which is making me happy because I like when those puzzle pieces are actually starting to connect. And it looks like this episode is finally gonna be with some kind of action. I know that for us frombies that we like to, watch this TV show and like to analyze, honestly, I really don't care whether it's action and there are monsters that are ripping people apart or not. If there's enough information for me to work on it, I'm happy with that. But for general audience, it's probably really important to see somebody is breaking something and, killing somebody and danger, stranger danger, blah, 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 action, Vin Diesel driving into Fromville, Keanu Reeves killing people as John Wick, and, 9.8 this episode will get on IMDb. So good that they're bringing more people and more excitement to this episode, and hopefully it will bring even more audience to From, because this TV show finally gets enough attention, I think, but it always can be even better. So yeah, fingers crossed, and if there's gonna be any more new information, you will know where to find the analysis of this information in this channel. I have cool merch, I have Patreon, and I have YouTube members, so you can check it out if you want. And if not, just by watching this video from the beginning to the end, you already gave me everything I could ever ask from you, because I make those videos for you to watch and enjoy them. Everything else is a nice but just a bonus. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Meanwhile, bye!